much do you know about the vast majority of the Gold Coast players who only played a handful of games?
We have a fair degree of knowledge about them now. Have seen them throughout this season. Obviously, we have recruiting scouts who have been watching them as young players, the younger guys, so pretty good.
They've obviously been rotating their entire squad through. It's making it harder to prepare, not knowing who they're going to rotate out this week and who they're going to rotate in?
Not really, but it's different. Yeah, it's different. Just we'll wait and see their squad. Once their squad's out, we're ready to go.
But their clearance work's obviously really good, despite, I suppose, the inexperience at other ends of the ground. So how much extra time do you put into trying to nullify or maybe get the better of them in that area?
Well, it's hard to put in extra time over and above the maximum amount of time you're putting in. So no extra time, but certainly in all aspects of the way they play, we treat them like we treat every opposition. Look at all areas of their game, make sure we're aware of what they bring, and do our planning around that.
Do you find, have you given your scouting that Gary is playing a similar role to his when he was at Geelong, or he's changed the way he's playing as a midfielder now?
Well, he's in a different group, but he's obviously still, one of the best players in the competition. So still impacting games strongly. So just part of our planning, definitely just having a look at how he's playing and how we'll go about trying to nullify his impact.
Other clubs have said that not just you might use one player on him. Is it the same scenario for you guys where you might use two or three? Possibly,
we'll look at that, but that's the same as every week. Yeah.
Coming up against Bluey, looking forward to that.
It's a funny one in that coaching against coaches is not what it's about. You don't see them during the game. You don't have anything to do with them. So all our planning, we don't sit in match committee and talk about how Bluey's going to go, but we are aware that as the coach, we see the style of football he's been implementing and some of the strategies that they use. So we talk very much about the way the Gold Coast play. So the fact that Bluey's in the box next to us really won't cross my mind at all.
Zach Smith, I'm not sure how much you've seen of him, but everyone's
seen a fair bit of him.
In raptures with him.
Yeah.
Do you see, obviously Coxie has been probably the best ruckman this club's produced. Do you see this bloke coming through as the next prototype of ruckman, or in a similar vein to Coxie in terms of what they can do for their size?
Yeah, he's got a little bit of Nat Nui and a little bit of Cox about him. So very skillful and great leap and athleticism. So he looks like a real talent.
What are the areas of strength or weakness in Gold Coast that you've identified?
Well, their biggest area for improvement is in their youth. That's their building over the next few years. They're getting games into their younger players. Their senior players, we know how good they are, and it's a matter of now getting the experience through their group. So that's their biggest area. There's parts of their game that they're like us. We've still got big areas of improvement in our style of play and the way we move the ball, and that they would have their own focus areas on that.
Your stability this year, you haven't had to drop blokes really performance, or when you bring guys in who are just better players during the time. How important has your stability been?
Yeah, that's been very important. It's mainly, as you said, through injuries. But that's also been a bit about picking our best side week in, week out. So we've had some changes with Schofield out of the side and Gaff in as a sub in full-time out of the side. We'll keep progressing that way, weighing up stability versus development of players, and also our best team week in, week out.
Do you make many changes this week?
We're certainly not going to be forced to make any changes. So it'll be around the side. There's players that have been pushing up ready to play, putting strong pressure on. Whether there's any players that succumb to that pressure is going to be up to the match committee, but guys like Kobe Stevens and Brad Dalziel been outstanding form. Tom Swift travelled on the weekend and is as close as anyone to breaking into the side and just waiting for opportunities.
How's Sam Butler after one injury?
He's moving pretty well. But it is Sam Butler who's got a history of muscle strains, so we're not going to rush him. But the fact that he didn't travel means he's been able to progress his his rehab pretty well. So he'll be close, I would say, to selection.
What about Gaff, John? We've got the scans back from his hamstring. You said Monday it might just be a cork, not a tear.
Yeah, yep. So the scans did show some bleeding in the muscle, which can come from a cork, or it can sometimes come from a strain. But he's moving pretty well already, so he'll be up for consideration. But we won't risk him if we need to push him too much to show his fitness. We won't do that. So at this stage, unlikely that he'll be in the squad for Saturday, but that doesn't rule him out of potentially playing in the waffle on Monday. Those extra couple of days can help, so we'll wait and see.
Do you change the waffle structure of players this week with a Monday game
Yeah.
in case something happens next week in terms of losing guys this week for next week?
We'll assess that on Sunday. So once we get through our game and we know how the guys have pulled up, we'll assess what we need to do in terms of Monday, first thing Sunday morning.
Emily this week, his missus is having a
His
child.
wife.
His wife, sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
Is it booked in? Is he guaranteed to play this week? What's the situation?
Well, I think officially due today. So yeah, there's no real panic about it all. We'll just see what happens.
Is he just on permanent standby?
Well, I haven't actually spoken to him about the weekend yet, so I will, but it may not be a worry. We may have another little Embley in the world before then.
Are you happy for him to miss if required?
Definitely, yeah. If the most important thing for him was to be by his wife's side, then I would never question that.
John, just one on Scott Lycett's been great form of the waffle.
Yeah.
Chance to play this year rather than just...
Well, they're always, they are always a chance to play. I don't think we've ever had a squad where we've said that kid's not going to play till next year. He's not really physically ready. They're all up for selection and they all want to play. You know, they all set goals at trying to break into the side in their first season. So Scott's going really well. His development's been great. I'm really pleased with how he's going, and he may play this year.
Does the same apply to Jacob Brennan, who obviously travelled and was named in the squad?
Didn't travel, but
I didn't travel.
No.
In the initial squad.
yeah, oh yeah. Well, if his form warrants selection, he'll be in.
How do you find players stepping up from the waffle straight to AFL? Do they take a little bit to get back in the intensity?
Generally, the general rule that I pick up on over my history in the game is that if they're in really good waffle form, they carry that in and play well at AFL level. But there are times when you're forced to bring players in who haven't hit their peak form, and they're the ones who may struggle to pick up the pace straight away and play with their best form. But good waffle form has generally meant players have come in and contributed really well to the team.
Has Andrew Strike's inconsistency been a worry in the waffle? It seems to be good for a quarter then disappear for a quarter.
No, not really. It's he had a bit of an interrupted pre-season, so it's been about more getting his match fitness right up. That's probably why he's been fading out of games or not contributing at the intense level we want him to. But from all accounts, for 3 quarters on the weekend, he was a dominant player, and each man I got on top and meant that he didn't have the same impact in the last quarter. But we now see him as being match fit, ready to go.